Most of the time, we live in an assumption that there is a me that needs to be sustained. A me who needs to understand, judge, and make sense of everything. Because of this, every experience tends to follow the same pattern. Something happens. It is picked up, interpreted, compared, and evaluated. It turns into certain feelings or judgments and claimed again as mine. At some point, we might realize that there is no center that needs to be maintained. Whatever is happening does not need a center to hold it, nor does it need something to continuously process it. In this state, something becomes naturally seen. A happening is simply a happening. A feeling is simply a feeling. It does not need to be labeled, nor does it need to be managed. We used to divide our experience like a group of students in a classroom. Some are good and welcomed, some are bad and avoided. But without a central reference point, this division no longer holds. Not because we're trying to treat everything equally. It's simply because nothing is creating inequality at the first place. Every experience, as it appears, is already justified and complete. You don't need to accept them because rejection has no ground to stand on. Even pain or tension might still arise from time to time. They continue to appear as part of the experience. What changed is that they are no longer carried forward. They come as they are, move as they are, and leave as they are. At the same time, another layer becomes visible: expectations and control. We realize that they do not shape what is already happening. Whatever happens continues regardless. But expectations and control add an additional layer on top, a layer of tension and existence. When this is seen clearly, you don't need to make effort to let them go either. They too are part of what is happening. When it's not sustained, they move the same way. They appear, shift, and fade away. Action continues. You still speak, move, and make decisions. But the source of the action shifts. It is no longer driven by trying to gain, avoid, or control. There is no destination to go or something better to be. What appears, it's simply the unfolding of the current moment. The sense of time also shifts. Each moment stands on its own, not derived from the previous one, not carrying something that must be continued. The feeling of me moving through time begins to loosen. With this, cause and effect also lose their weight. Things are still happening, but they no longer need to trace back, nor projected to the future. And in this, something quietly comes into place. There is no dramatic change, no sense of arrival, and nothing stands out as special. It's not a realization that you can hold on to, but a quiet shift. It feels so simple that you wouldn't even call it freedom, because you realize that you are never not free. Sometimes it might be described as an eternal change or ongoing movement. But even movements or change relies on comparison. They depend on a sense of before and after, on something being measured against something else. And when that structure is no longer in place, There is no reference point from which change can be observed. And without that, even movement is not an accurate description. Everything is just this, as is.